Zacks Screen of the Week, an overview of a timely stock screening strategy aimed at helping you produce more profitable investing results. Well, this week we're looking for stocks with 3 days of upward price movement and volume. At least Kevin is. So he joins me once again, that maestro of stock screens for Zacks.com, Kevin Matras. Market's been up for a nice little run here of late.
Right.
And so I'm guessing that there's a lot of stocks that have been or are up in price and volume, at least over the past 3 days.
You would think so, but there are surprisingly few of them. The market has been up for several days in a row, but what's interesting is that a lot of the stocks that have been going up, they've been going up without a lot of volume behind it or without a lot of momentum getting behind it. And that's why I wanted to talk today about looking for stocks that have not only increased in price over several days, but also have seen their volume increase as well.
Now, I keep my ear to the ground a lot, the street, as it's called. And when you do that, you hear a lot of things. And I've heard of traders interested in the past in looking for increasing volume. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Well, let's take a look at it. If let's just say you have a stock that's going down first, and you see that the stock is moving down on increasing volume, mm-hmm. that would imply that A, you have a lot of people probably getting out of that stock, or B, you have short sellers placing bets that the stock is going to go lower. On the flip side, if you have a stock going up and you see the volume increasing, that would suggest that you have a lot of buying pressure. You have more people interested in purchasing the stock, and the idea is that the price should follow volume. I think an easy way to illustrate this would be if you had a water hose, and let's just say that you had, the hose that was spitting out water and there was a good deal of water pressure, and then you had a ball on top of it. The more water pressure that comes out of there, the higher the ball should go. But the moment you ease up on the water pressure, you should see the ball start to fall. And if you translate that to stocks, it's kind of like the same thing. If you see the price going up, and as you see volume increasing, buying pressure, you should see the price of that stock continue. Because again, it kind of comes back to supply-demand. There is a greater demand out there to buy that stock, hence higher prices. Of course, once you see the buying pressure start to dissipate, now you should probably start to see the stock pull back. Or you can use that as an indication that maybe a pullback is in the near offing because buying pressure has waned and you should see the market start to pull back a little bit. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a bunch of new people putting short positions on, mm-hmm. taking bets it's going to go down. However, though, I do want to say, if, let's just say, you start to see the stock go down, and as I said earlier, if you start to see the volume increase as it's falling, mm-hmm. it could be a signal that maybe the trend is now changing back to the downside.
Seems to make sense. So the increased activity then in the direction of the move is what demonstrates investor belief.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's what I needed to get cleared up. Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
All right. So once again, I have to probe even more. Tell us about this screen.
Well, this is a screen that I use regularly, and again, I'm looking to try to use this screen so I can find the stocks that seem to be hot. But the reason why I particularly like the 3 days up is because if you're looking at price momentum and you see these big one-day events, let's say the stock goes up 8%, 10%,
right.
Oftentimes when you see these huge price gainers, they oftentimes are just one-day events that cannot be continued. Okay. But if you're seeing stocks go up day after day, and you see a reasonable increase in volume, that would suggest to me accumulation. And as you start seeing accumulation, that's a very bullish sign, and it really shows that investor interest, as you just said, really is starting to pick up momentum. It doesn't mean it's going to continue indefinitely. The first time you see volume go down, that all of a sudden the trend is over. But as you start seeing an increase in volume, that implies increased demand. That is accumulation. Those are very bullish signs.
All right. So the parameters of the screen.
The parameters of the screen couldn't be simpler. First off, I want to find stocks where the current price is greater than the price 1 day ago. The price 1 day ago is greater than the price 2 days ago. And the price 2 days ago is greater than the price 3 days ago.
And so
right?
on, and so on, and so
and it's
on.
the same thing with the volume. The volume just has to have increased each day from the previous day for the last 3 days.
Okay.
For this screen, though, I am looking for companies that are trading over $5 a share. I like to apply all of my parameters to stocks that have at least 100,000 shares traded on a daily basis. Right. But again, it's a very straightforward screen. If you want to put some more parameters on there, like show me stocks that have a Zacks rank of a 1 or a 2, or show me stocks that have particular growth rates, that is fine. But again, this one is trying to find companies that are enjoying increased buyer demand.
All right. And volume, same thing?
Right.
Greater than a day ago? And
correct.
Okay. As long as we got that all cleared up.
3 days in a row.
I tell you. Again, an example, if you would, of a stock that came through the screen, as you always do for us?
Yeah. One of the stocks that came through is Franklin Electric Company, ticker FELE. They are the world's largest manufacturer of submersible electric motors, and they're a leading producer of engineered specialty motor products and controls around the world. If you take a look at some of their valuations here, you can see that they came into the week with a Zacks rank of a 3. They have a projected growth rate of 78.03%. That's a fantastic projected growth rate. But their PE ratio, using their F1 estimate, is only 18.5. So it's a very good PE ratio, very low. They posted a positive EPS surprise their last time out of 8.82%. So they beat their estimates. And they're also paying a dividend. They have a dividend yield of 1.15%. If you take a look at a chart, you can see this company has been up for 6 days in a row. And if you look at the volume, if you look at that histogram, it's the second one, or I should say the one in the middle, you can see that the volume has increased for 4 days straight. So stock looks pretty good.
Histogram, another new term.
Histogram.
You've introduced. What you don't learn in this segment, let me tell you. Does anyone in your household own the stock?
No, we don't.
All right. And don't forget, you can read all about this week's screen and see even more stocks that came through it by linking to it off of our homepage at Zacks.com. Also remember, the key to successful screening lies in discovering those screens which have produced profitable results in the past. Yes, in the past. Kevin uses Zacks' powerful Research Wizard stock screening, backtesting, and reporting software programs to achieve all of his screens, and you can learn more about the Research Wizard if you go to Zacks.com/Research Wizard. We make it so easy for you. With the maestro, Kevin Matras, and the screen of the week, I'm Terry Ruffalo.